ke kopa hore letsatsing lena le be ke Jehova le nna ke ikamahanye le ditumediso tse se di fanwe empa ke utlwa ka ke tlabe ke le mosesanyane ha ke nka tloholla ntate motlotlehi mme motlotlehi ntate tonakgolo empa ka ho kgetholoha our most esteemed guest of honor, the former President of the Republic of South Africa. All invited guests, I wish to say you're most welcome to this memorial lecture. Setjhaba sa ntate, setjhaba se ratweng ke Modimo, ke kopa hore ha ke a tla o tla bua wa ka ko amohela bohle ba nkileng nako ya bona ba iphile monyetla wa hore ka letsatsi lena ha re hopola ha re leboha Jehova re tlotla ya sa re siile ka dilemo tsena tse 30 e leng ntate Motlotlehi Moshoeshoe II ke re ho lona setjhaba sa ntate hana motho a gane Modimo ke mang. We are gathered here tonight or this evening under the theme that I know that they will do justice to: Africa in turmoil, as peace, inclusive prosperity and development remains elusive. Can Southern Africa provide leadership, pointers, drawing lessons from King Moshoeshoe II and his generation of leaders? Wouldn't that be the men? Ka senkgweshe ka setaung mantswe a ka a makgutshwanyane motheo ka bophate ke hore ke nahana bophelo ba ntate Bereng was premised on a motto: to serve, to lead. A servant leader, an aspirational leader, an ethical leader. That's what he stood for, that's what he lived for, and that's what he died for. Inspiration to the nation of Basotho, inspiration to the continent of Africa, that our leadership needs to be of a greater standard, a moral leadership, an ethical leadership that is premised firstly on servant leadership, to serve, to lead. O le mohlanka wa setjhaba, o le moetapele wa setjhaba, o lokela ho pele o be mosebeletsi wa setjhaba, o be le botshepehi le nnete mosebeletsing ba setjhaba. Ke seo ntate Motlotlehi Moshoeshoe II a tsamayang a re siela sona re le bana ba hae, re le setjhaba sa hae. 30 years on, we are called for a serious introspective. 60 years almost of our independence, 200 years of the nationhood. We are called today, not tomorrow, today. We are called to take stock as a nation, as a people, as to who and where we are. Do we, as a Basotho of today, do we, as Africans of Southern Africa and beyond, do we carry the torch of true leadership, aspirational leadership, transformational leadership, or do we fall short of the mark? But I wish to remind our esteemed guests that His Majesty King Moshoeshoe II, amongst the many things that we will be talked about by the ages, over the ages, was that he was a true African. He was a true African to a point where he would stand at the podium at the UN condemning apartheid, condemning the injustice of the white regime. What are we doing to follow on from those words? We are called today to pay tribute and aspire to that type of leadership. In our own humble village of Matsie, there is a school called Moshoeshoe II High School that was expanded primarily to accommodate our student population that were fleeing the bullets of South Africa, of the white regime. We had students in the universities of Lesotho as inspired by the leadership of the day. That we cannot, in Lesotho, stand away and stand aside while our brothers and sisters are being slaughtered and murdered in South Africa under the repressive regime of apartheid. Also, among the many things that he stood for was equity. Equity, not only in terms of judicial equity, but developmental monetary equity. And in such aspirations, or in under such philosophy, there was, and there is still in the back burner, a philosophy of educational production, where there's a recognition that our education system must up the ante, and our children must be drawn to a point where they can stand shoulder to shoulder with their colleagues in the international arena. Education is not just math, it's not just English. We need artisans in this country. This is where the dream of educational production came from. There are so many layers to His Majesty Moshoeshoe II. But most of all, it is a call, the clarion call, that we as a people, we need to be fair to each other. You need to be fair to each other and equitable to each other for us to develop. Because if you run alone, you won't run far. But if we run together, we're going to go a long distance ahead. When that did one man, Sishaba Samudimo, Osanaga Fe Dagatabsi, Yamuhoma Port, the local Bahumadiman Badi, or Bahopole the social Soto. For the Bonaga Matapi, Julekamusha Robi, Anna Rabel and Tatilizas, for the Ibemudim, Famasi, Yamahamo Sali. Bao ete la penisi cha, ese mo shalebani balafat, ese mo magiti alafat, imba mo shale baludi. With these few words, our visitors, our guests, I wish to say that Din Tabo and your entourage, welcome once again, highly. The Sotumo Nagihi, I won't describe, I won't go beyond why Nagihi, but you know, the Gaika became a more Nalimua may have did that. When bontate le bomme ka nnete re tlile ho tla hopola ho tla leba Modimo le ha ba dipelo di ka di a bitsa di a thella empa ka mokgopola ka thabo le tlotla hobane Modimo o phethile hana jwale rona ke bomang ba ka fetolang taba tsa Modimo. Modimo o boloke Lesotho, Modimo o boloke Basotho lefatshe ya botata rona le be le kgotso ya nnete. Ke a leboha.